Let it fly to somewhere far from here, through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest sea so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest seas so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. You're still in my heart. Oh, please let the wind take my heart away. Let it fly to somewhere far from here, through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest sea so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest seas so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. You're still in my heart. Oh, please let the wind take my heart away. Let it fly to somewhere far from here, through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest sea so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest seas so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. You're still in my heart. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky, to the farthest seas so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. fly to somewhere far from here. Through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. You're still in my heart. Oh, please let the wind take my heart away. Let it fly to somewhere far from here. Through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. You're still in my heart. Oh, please let the wind take my heart away. Let it fly to somewhere far from here. Through the crowds and through the hills of my dreams. Let this heart drift off to where it needs to be. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go. Even if we are apart, you'll still be in my heart to keep you safe and sound through the night. Take this heart and let it soar across the sky to the farthest sea, so it will go.
I see new horizons are opening up, new feelings. I feel great in every moment when I see the world around me. It makes me
Open to the new shades. Amazing Thailand.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good afternoon everyone in Thailand and good morning to all friends in Europe. Welcome to the TAT webinar by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. I am Piraya Tangamprongtham from the Europe, Africa and Middle East Market Division, Tourism Authority of Thailand, head office in Bangkok. And on behalf of the TAT Europe family, I would like to thank you for your interest to attend this webinar session presenting the market situation and expectations in the Baltics by the TAT Stockholm office. And Baltic states are in the northeastern region of Europe, containing 3 countries: Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, which are on the eastern shores of the Baltic Sea, covering a population of 6 million people. And Thailand is one of their main outbound long-haul destinations after the US and the UAE. And today we will learn more about the market situation and expectations of these 3 emerging markets. And just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box. On notebook or PC, the Q&A icon is on the left, or if you're joining on your mobile phone, it's on top of the screen. You can also vote for questions that you like in the Q&A box. And on the bottom right of the screen, there's a chat box where you can chat with other webinar participants, or if you experience any difficulties during the live presentation, you can here communicate with our admin team. And just a little reminder that what's written in the chat box will not be shown to our speakers. So if you have any questions for our speakers, please make sure you type them into the Q&A box. Lastly, this webinar is being recorded, and if you would like to watch it again, you can use the same access code or visit our TAT website, tourismthailand.org/webinar, and go to the past event section. Now, everyone, please allow me to introduce our speakers. Leila Lilelord, our TAT marketing representative, the Baltics.
Good morning, Savatika.
And Leila, she will begin with the overall Baltic market information and market performance to Thailand, flight options, travel demand, travel seasonality, our current marketing activities, and the answer to the question, when will Baltic holiday seekers be visiting Thailand again? And next, would you please welcome our Estonian market expert, Marian Lukus. สวัสดีค่ะ Marian. Marian is the Secretary General, Estonian Travel and Tourism Association, and she will give you the information on the Estonian economic outlook together with the overall COVID-19 situation and travel regulations in Estonia. Pretty much it's the legal playground for traveling. And this session will not be complete without an expert's review. I'd like to please welcome Oksana Junikaite.
Hello.
Hello. Oksana Junikaite is the head of product development department of Novaturas Group, headquartered based in Lithuania. Novaturas Group is the leading tour operator in the Baltics, and Oksana will share us about the challenges and perspectives of the tourism sector and tour operators in the face of this global pandemic. And she will cover winter destination supply and where Baltic citizens like to travel to within Thailand, preparation for the upcoming season, and their target audience. In summary, there will be 40 minutes of presentations by our expert travel panel. And now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our first presenter, Leila Lilelord, TAT Marketing Representative to Baltics. Leila, the floor is yours.
Thank you so very much, Piraya. And thank you everyone for joining us today. So even if the Baltic markets might be small, there are a lot of people from Baltics who want to travel to Thailand. So I will tell you more about the market and the prognosis in next minutes. So the Baltic markets, yes, they are in the northern part of Europe, close to Nordic countries. We are part of European Union. We are part of Schengen area, and we have euro as a currency. So the biggest number of people in the Baltic countries, they live in Lithuania, almost close to 3 million. All together, we are 6 million people. And the smallest country is Estonia, northernmost country. So, but 6 million people together, it's already quite a target group for you. And like many other countries, like all the world, the Baltic markets were also severely hit by corona disease in the middle of March. So then the state of emergency was announced in all Baltic countries, and businesses stopped. So activities in many areas stopped, and that of course affected travel and tourism a lot. So currently, fortunately, situation is improving here. The disease is fading away, and the state of emergency in Estonia was ended already at the end of May. In Latvia, we hope this state of emergency to be ended this week and Lithuania to follow next week. So thanks to that, some airlines have already started operation to the Baltic markets. And currently, of course, unfortunately, the volume of air travel possibilities, the operations are much lower than it was in the pre-corona situation, but it's starting. And Baltic markets are different also in the sense that we have created already our own travel bubble a couple of weeks. What does it mean? So people from one Baltic country can travel to other Baltic countries without any restrictions, without border restrictions, without the restriction of staying in quarantine. So step by step, Baltic countries are opening up to European countries, currently only at bilateral level, but more or less we can say that it's still pretty much restricted now. So let's go onwards. The economies were really hit in the corona situation. And to overcome this hit, the Baltic states are offering, the government's offering companies the support. So the biggest support is offered by Lithuania, about 5 billion euros. In Estonia and Latvia, the support is around 2 billion. So this actually is meant for all economy, not just travel trade. And it's but travel businesses are getting a share of this. And a special support has already also been given to the local airlines like Air Baltic and Nordica and local airports as well. So travel is getting some dedicated support also. Being close to Nordics, the GDP per capita in the Baltic states has not been yet comparable to the Nordic countries. So approximately compared to Nordics, GDP per capita is around 40%, so lower than Nordic countries, and GDP is approximately 50% compared to old Western economies. But our GDP per capita is very much comparable to other Eastern European countries. And when comparing the Baltic markets amongst each other, so Estonia has slightly higher GDP per capita than the other countries, but we are very similar. So now, due to this corona situation, of course, GDP per capita is expected to decline. GDP overall will decline. There are so many different prognoses, and after a couple of weeks, new prognoses emerge. So let me only give you one. So International Monetary Fund GDP prognosis expects our economies to decline about 8%. So if so, then it's, I would say, even a good result considering the stop of economies. And GDP will start growing back again. So the recent prognosis rather say that not in 1 year, but maybe 1-2 years, so it'll be at the same level as before. So Thailand is actually a very important destination for Baltic countries. So when looking at the main outbound long-haul destinations from all Baltic countries together, then in pre-corona situation, the top destination was United States of America, second UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and third actually is Thailand. So Thailand is the lucky winner of the third place, so to say. But comparing to the UAE situation, UAE actually has direct flights. So Thailand is considering that we don't have any direct flights from Baltics, is actually producing a very big number of people. I will tell you later what exactly it is. And next slide, please. Thank you. So of all the outbound travel, Thailand actually is 11%. Sorry, not all outbound travel, but the long haul travel. So as most of the countries in the world, a majority of travels is to neighboring countries. But Thailand then from the long haul is on the third place. And now back to these travels to Thailand. So arrivals from Baltic to Thailand are altogether, well, last year, 55,000. So approximately 40% of these are from Estonia. And Estonia has been pretty stable during past years. So Estonia has been the leading country regarding arrivals. It's stable. Lithuania has actually grown very quickly, and the annual growth rate approximately 15% during past years. So Latvia for us, for you actually, is the smallest, but the potential in Latvia and Lithuania, both those countries, is actually very big to grow. Our traffic is very seasonal, so mostly November to March. And it's our task then to trigger also the summer traffic. In pre-corona situation, the main airlines to Thailand were Aeroflot, Turkish Airlines, and Finnair. This is based on the Sabre ADA statistics, so the big carriers to Thailand from this region. And the main airports were Bangkok with approximately 60% and Phuket with 40%. So when we now look into the future, then airlines are step-by-step starting operations. Finnair is operating to Baltics and has already announced flights to Bangkok from the autumn and is promising also Krabi and Phuket. Lufthansa has started operations to Baltics and also to Bangkok, but the rest is not yet so much sellable. So Aeroflot has stopped their operation. Turkish has not announced when they will start operating. Qatar has stopped Helsinki, Doha flights, and Ukraine International is also currently has stopped all operations. So when we now look into the future, so definitely travel is coming back. So I'm confident on that. Business travel will start first, leisure travel will follow. In the short term, of course, business travel and leisure travel will be both smaller and lower levels than last year, but it's gonna take time, but they will catch up. So leisure travel to Mediterranean area is expected to start already from July, hopefully. And now important for you, leisure travel to long haul is expected to start from October to November on certain preconditions, which let's see on the next slide. Good news for you is that thanks to this governmental support activities, then majority of travel agencies and tour operators are still alive. Their operations are on hold. They have some of them decreased salaries, work on partial workloads, staff decreases, but they are there. So they are ready to start offering Thailand and other countries as soon as the markets open. So currently there is unfortunately no demand. There's no travel options and no possibilities legally. But travel agencies estimate that demand to Thailand is coming back from autumn, October, November. Demand is expected to be lower than last year, regrettably. How big the decline will be, there are different opinions. Some tour operators and agencies say that decline will be 30%. Some say that even 80%. It depends on many things. Let's see what those things are. And the first, of course, important fact is that corona disease will not come back. So it's fading away. And of course, Thailand has to start accepting tourists, which it does not currently. And corona situation in Thailand has also to be under control. So in Baltics, it's really, really low, this new corona diseases. So preferably the situation would need to be similar in Thailand for the Baltic people to start considering again traveling to Thailand. And very important condition for travel to start again is quarantine. So meaning that the quarantine restrictions have to be taken away from both sides. From Thailand, so when clients travel to Thailand, there has to be no quarantine. Otherwise, no sense to travel to enjoy beautiful Thailand, to stay in quarantine in one hotel. And the same applies when the clients travel back to home, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. There should be no quarantine restriction when they arrive home. So this is very important on both sides. What influences the client's decision is the official travel warnings. And currently, travel warning all over the Baltic countries is rather do not travel, stay at home, or if you travel to neighboring countries. So this official warning has to be changed to more favorable wording towards long-haul travel also. And of course, travels cannot be if there is no means to travel. So the airlines have to start operating long haul. The fares have to be reasonably attractive. So remember, GDP here is not high. Some people have lost their work. Salaries have been decreased. So the air travel opportunities have to be favorable. They were priced at least at the level as pre-corona. And the flight experience has to be reasonable. So as the flight time is long, as we don't have any direct flights from Baltics to Thailand, so people have to, connect to Thailand via one or two stops. This means that it's already, not so convenient anyway. And then on the flight, the experience has to be also favorable. So we do hope that travel will start there in the autumn to Thailand again, and we are confident it will. And to keep this Thailand in the top of mind of Baltic people who have been spreading the message about the beauty of Thailand, about different things you can do there. And the marketing in Baltics I've been doing is on the travel portals Travel News.lv, EE and LT. And there are special landing sites, special sub-site for Thailand travel from home on this portal. And on the next slide, you will see also the news and the banners on the Travel News overall portal leading to this landing site. So now it's summer in Baltics, but winter is coming. Winter is cold and it's dark. So our people definitely want to travel to warm areas and to enjoy the sun and the hospitality Thailand has to offer. So we are confident that soon you will see Baltic people again. And this was all from my side. Thank you so very much for listening. And I will now give floor over to dear colleague Marianne to talk more about the legal side of traveling to Thailand. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you, everybody, and welcome once again from Estonia. I'm representing Estonian Travel and Tourism Association. That is the voluntary union of travel and tourism employers in Estonia. And the members all in all cover about 85% of the professionally mediated travel market of this country. This is one of the oldest, longest history associations of our country, and the expertise is here already for 30 years. and a bit more. Unfortunately, we also didn't have the opportunity to celebrate our anniversary in April due to restrictions of coronavirus. We can go to the next slide now. Thank you. Like Leila already pointed out, the Baltic countries, the people in the Baltic countries are really very, very good and keen travelers. There is probably a combination of different reasons for that. Because of our history, because the ongoing interest towards the whole world, and also a good reason because the territories of the countries are not very big, so the borders are close and people are used to cross the borders quite often. For example, for Estonia, the statistic shows that on yearly basis, every citizen of Estonia, starting from the babies ending up of the elderly people, make about 3 border crossings a year, meaning that they all make at least 3 trips abroad every year, meaning that traveling is really an important issue here in this country. And like everywhere, at least 2/3 of the traveling is done for holiday reasons. Pre-corona, obviously, Thailand has been a very, very important and favorable destination for our people because of the very good combination of the things that you can offer. Leila has already pointed out, and obviously all the people in your travel, tourism and hospitality sector can know how beautiful and what a good destination for holidays Thailand is. Let me now more concentrate on the travel warnings. The travel warnings are really an important matter, and the ministries of foreign affairs of every country keep a keen track on the different destinations. In case of the Baltic countries, as the countries are not very big, obviously the countries do not have diplomatic representations in all the destinations of the world, and that is also why a UK, United Kingdom Minister of Foreign Affairs travel warnings are also something that our people watch keenly. So this is now an example taken from the website of the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, stating information about Thailand as a destination, but currently, because of this corona situation, we have to say that we still experience the so-called horizontal travel warning, meaning that despite of the fact that it is now allowed to travel in the Baltic countries, like Leila already mentioned, already for 3 weeks, our people can freely enter the other Baltic countries. They do not have restrictions. They don't have to stay in quarantine in the destination, nor when coming back to their home country. But still there is the horizontal travel warning stating that try to avoid all unnecessary traveling, meaning that still holiday making abroad is not suggested or advised. So what does it mean? The source market, in our case, the Baltic markets, we have to follow the warnings. If our people go to different destinations as individual travelers, but even more so when the trips are professionally organized. The package travel directive that came into being in the European Union 1.5 years back sets really very, very high expectations and very high rate of responsibility to all the professional tour operators and travel agencies. And this is why all the companies really have to watch very, very carefully what the ministries of foreign affairs say, and the travel warnings have actually direct economic implications. So meaning that if there is the travel warning, to a destination, then the people who have bought holiday packages can redeem from their packages and can claim 100% of their payment back. And this makes quite a big risk for the professional companies. Like already Leila pointed out, quarantine requirements, both directions, when going abroad or coming back is a crucial thing. And also this year, probably most of the government's campaign, do not go abroad. Better stay, have your holiday in your home country. This is something that could already have affected the mindset of consumers. The next slide, please. And obviously the destinations. You probably are very well aware of all the health and safety protocols, all the tourism sector and the different fields of services have to follow. And this now makes a very big difference. What will be the new reality of traveling? Will people really have the perfect holiday experience, or they have to figure out what they want or they don't want to do? Because if they want to travel and really enjoy their holidays, they have to meet a lot of different restrictions. Also, the transportation flights in this case, as there are different flights our people have to take. What will be the real reality and restrictions on the aircrafts and in the airports? The next slide, please. Next week, or even this week, is of very big importance in the European countries. Will the Schengen borders be opened on June 15, or will the decision will be made? How the local governments will react, how the travel warnings will be changed. We are really working towards to have bilateral travel warnings to get rid of this horizontal warning. And we all cross our fingers not to have the second wave, so to call, so that the winter destinations like Thailand could really be happening and our people could go to winter holidays. But as Leila already pointed out, most probably traveling will not get back to the levels it used to be. It will take a couple of years, but let's cross our fingers. The economic stability will be regained and people will start to travel again. No doubt about that. Thank you. This is all from my side. I would now like to invite Oksana to talk about the real life products and what the companies really offer to our people to be able to enjoy the amazing Thailand, really amazing holiday destination. Oksana, please.
Hello, thank you, Marian. Hi once again. My name is Oksana Jonikaitė, and I represent Baltic tour operator Novaturas. Personally, I'm based in Lithuania. And during this webinar, I will shortly overview the challenges the whole tourism sector and tour operators faced during this global pandemic, and what are tourism in general and Thailand destinations perspectives for the upcoming season. With the next slide, I would like shortly to introduce the company I represent. Novaturas is the largest tour operator in the Baltic region, so Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, with a 20-year presence in the markets. The company's diverse offering covers organized holiday tours by plane to more than 30 destinations worldwide, which are sold through 400 travel agencies, as well as own sales offices and online. The company's strategy is focused on strengthening its leading position in the attractive and growing tourism markets of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Belarus, where Novaturas has begun selling its product, also offers potential for further growth. The Baltic countries, with a total population of over 6 million, offer solid growth potential for tour operators. The company's competitive advantages include a strong and well-recognized brand, high customer loyalty, and very good relations with tourism agencies and service providers, thanks to which Novaturas can provide its clients with a diverse and attractively priced offering. Going to the next slide, I would like to emphasize that Novaturas has a diversified product offering both summer and winter packages holidays, as well as sightseeing tours by coach or by plane to more than 30 destinations worldwide, as already mentioned, including the most popular holidays resorts in Southern Europe, as well as select locations in North Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Latin America. Flight packages tours makes the biggest part of all sales and reaches, as you can see from the slide, almost 83% out of total product categories. With the next slide, I would like to introduce very shortly our winter season 2020-2021 destination supply. In summary, Egypt remains the most popular destination among the Baltic citizens in the winter season. Spain, mainly Canary Islands and Tenerife Island, holds the second place with 13% capacity in total supply. Long-haul destinations makes around 10% of the whole supply, and Thailand, Bangkok and Phuket, including those two destinations, is the biggest destination in terms of volume among other long-haul destinations. And it makes 40% of total capacities planned for long-haul destinations in our product portfolio. In the next slide, I would like to emphasize that Thailand is the main long-haul destination in our portfolio. And here you have an overview of resorts by popularity in both destinations. Novaturas is offering for winter 2020-2021 season, so in Bangkok and Phuket. The most popular resort in Bangkok is Pattaya, with 62% of total sales. 10% makes for Bangkok, Pattaya. Actually, this is the organized combined package option where we are offering for our customers with a certain overnights in Bangkok for exploring it more. Then clients are transferred to Pattaya for the rest stay. We do have also other organized options of such combined tours, which are quite popular actually among Baltic citizens, such as Bangkok Koh Chang, Pattaya Koh Chang for the client's choice. And then Phuket makes 94% of total sales to Phuket, and the rest goes to Krabi. In the next slide, we have an overview of hotels category by popularity. So the most popular hotel category in Bangkok is the 3-star. It makes 53%, and 4-star. It makes 35%. The most popular hotel category in Phuket is 4-star, for 50%, and then 3-star, and it makes 32%. The most common meal type in Thailand, our travelers, our customers choose is bed and breakfast. With the next slide, I would like to give more details in terms of product prepared for Thailand for the upcoming season. Winter 2020-21 product is on sales already as of 7th of May 2020. For Baltic tourists, we are offering organized trips to Bangkok and Phuket. Packages are organized by taking block seats in regular airlines flights. We are cooperating with Turkish Airlines. Operation period for Bangkok is planned from the middle of October 2020 to the end of March 2021. And operation period to Phuket is planned from the end of November 2020 to the beginning of April of next year. Stay duration on destination, there is planned 13 nights in Bangkok and 11-12 nights in Phuket. Targeted audience, we say that it's for Thailand especially, it's couples and families. Still, despite the COVID-19 impact for Thailand destinations, slight capacity increase is planned for winter 2021. Actually, we have 12% increase planned in terms of the capacity if you compare to the previous season initially planned capacities, and 30% if you compare with the fact capacity. With the fact capacity, I mean that was affected by the restricted and and canceled flights because of coronavirus spread in last March. So let's move to the next slide. And but I would like to draw your attention to the challenges we faced and still actually facing due to coronavirus situation and the perspectives we foresee for Thailand destinations. First of all, I would like to overview the current sales situation and indicate clients' behavior and expectations. Actually, currently, there are no new sales almost. We are working with existing clients and changed reservations which were cancelled due to restricted flights. Accordingly, tourism perspective in general does not look very optimistic. There is significant drop in sales observed in comparison to previous season, same sales period. So approximately minus 68% for Thailand destinations, minus 74% for Bangkok, and 49% for Phuket. Still, we should admit that there is a bigger drop in sales actually, as the ones booked for next season are mainly changed or not really new bookings. So value for money products, hotels are preferred for Thailand. This is an important factor to convince client to buy. Quality of hotels and their services in Thailand is very, very important and demanded by our clients. And destination should pay bigger attention and improve in this point. For clients, confident buying flexibility tools are necessary to be implemented. Flexible conditions and reservations changing, cancelling are expected from destination and from hotel side. Finally, health safety measures implemented by destination and preparation for tourism relaunch are most important factors nowadays. As soon as destination will be safe and clean from the virus, only then we should expect tourists actually coming back. When choosing trips to Thailand, clients are really searching for value for money products. However, quality remains very important. In the next slide, I will indicate the operational prospects. The first quarter of 2020 was marked by extraordinary circumstances for the entire tourism sector, with the global travel business being affected by the COVID-19 virus. And after the introduction of isolation measures by the Baltic governments and responsible authorities, all organized trips were temporarily suspended in March. Anyhow, we continued implementing our operational plans. So we introduced early 2020-21 winter and 2021 summer seasons for the market. We are focused and preparing for relaunch, for operational relaunch, which is already confirmed since last week for certain destinations in Greece and Bulgaria, starting from the beginning of July. Let's hope that there won't be any changes and we'll be able to start our flights to those destinations. Orientation to local tourism became very, very important, and guidelines and standards for safe traveling are a must to be introduced for our clients. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Novaturas, together with the industry, has been working with governments in Baltics to adapt existing consumer rights regulations to this extraordinary situation. Until the regulatory processes for pandemic-affected and cancelled trips are completed, we offer our travelers extremely flexible conditions to change their vacation plans, to offer customers the best conditions for postponing holiday plans to later times. We record that's why early and introduced 2020-21 winter and 21 summer seasons. Further, going to the next slide, I wanted to give you an overview of Novaturas' response to global pandemic and what were the actions already taken and still to be taken. After trips were temporarily suspended in March, accordingly, repatriation of our clients was top priority matter for us as a tour operator, as the organizer. For Thailand as well, we had to repatriate our last groups. In order to manage the situation caused by COVID-19, Novaturas has taken strict cost-saving measures, negotiated with business partners abroad, and uses a state aid measure that allows it to compensate part of employees' salaries. The company is also expecting the final decisions of the Lithuanian government on aid measures to ensure liquidity. Effective and fast decisions of the Baltic governments are critical for one of the most affected by COVID-19 sectors today. In assessing possible future scenarios, the company relies on the recommendations of the responsible authorities and information from business partners abroad and local authorities on the possible resumption of travel. Novaturas is ready to resume travel operation as soon as the restrictions are lifted, and aviation and foreign partners will be ready to ensure the safety of travelers according to new safety requirements. So government's decisions, obligatory 14 days quarantine waiving from both sides, health safety prevention measures implementation by destinations, securing a high level of hygiene and clients' health safety, and flexible conditions for clients confident buying, changing or canceling their trips plans are most important factors for convincing client to travel again. So I wanted to thank you very much. And thank you very much for your attention. And that's it from my side. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Oksana, and thank you all our well-respected speakers for sharing such useful information about the Baltic market over the past 40 minutes. And it's very impressive to know that the Baltic states has a very strong COVID-19 combat measures and very low number of cases. And these measures are taken seriously by both government and its own citizens. And now that the country has resumed almost back to normal, and the Baltic people in the 3 states can travel freely within the Baltic bubble. So that's good news. And let me wrap up some key highlights from the previous presentations. Here, some airlines have started operating like Finnair and Lufthansa, and the big 3 airlines that have flown Baltic people to Thailand most are being Aeroflot, Turkish Airlines, and Finnair. And top 3 outbound long-haul destinations are the US, the UAE, and Thailand. Around 55,000 Baltic tourists came to Thailand last year, and 40% Estonians, and 39% Lithuanian, and 21% Latvians. Baltic travel agency and TOs are still alive. That's the good news from Leila. And consistent marketing activities in the Baltics to keep Thailand on top of mind is what TAT and all partners have been doing. And this winter season, winter 2020 and 2021, Bangkok and Phuket are the main destinations that Novaturas are going to be selling. And the sales had been on the website since May the 7th. Targeted audience for Novaturas is couples and families, and stay duration is about 11 to 13 nights per package, and health safety measures implemented by destination and preparation for tourism relaunch are most important factors now for this market. And now we'll go ahead and take some time for questions. And for those of you who have not submitted the questions, please be sure to type them into the Q&A box. You can also vote for questions that you like. And now please welcome our speakers back on the screen to start the Q&A session. Okay, so the team can highlight the first question up. So the first question being, which group will be the most potential target to travel overseas, especially long-haul trip after this COVID-19 season? And Oksana, you mentioned a bit in your presentation. Maybe you can repeat it again here.
Yes, actually, the targeted audience for us for organized trips basically are families. But for long haul destinations, more we target the couples, and especially taking into consideration current circumstances, we should pay attention that maybe older people, they won't be traveling because of the restrictions, because of the health issues. So I would say that couples will be the main targeted audience where, let's say, we see the potential that those people will be traveling for long haul destinations and for Thailand.
Thank you. So in summary, the couples is a group that will come back first and travel long haul first before other groups. Is that correct? Yes. Leila, you want to add anything to this question?
I actually do very much agree with Oksana that families maybe are a little bit fading away as the health concerns are bigger there, and the couples and a small groups of friends. This is the main target group after COVID.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move to the next question. Does Nova Tours contract with hotels in Thailand directly or through DMCs? Please recommend DMCs. So this question is directly to Oksana.
For Thailand destination, we are not contract hotels directly. We are working with the DMC, and DMC makes this work for us. But for other destinations, we work both ways. So contract directly and work through DMCs. But for Thailand, we are working with the DMC in Thailand.
Thank you, Oksana. So DMCs are key partners for your tour operators. So can you please name some DMCs that you've been working with, in Thailand?
Yes, currently we are working with the Pegas Select.
Okay, Vegas.
Yes, Pegas. Yes.
Thank you. I think we answered this question. So let's move to the next one, please. Will people prefer to book their trip with a TOTA rather than OTA after COVID-19? So what do you think here? So Marian, maybe you can answer this as you're from the Tourism Association.
Yes, thank you. Yes, in ETFL, we believe that the importance of tour operators and travel agencies, the local and reliable partners will grow, as we now have seen that also during these difficult times to get back from different destinations, obviously people turn to the partners. In our countries, individual travel is becoming or has become bigger, probably like everywhere in the world, but especially in this very difficult situation, people find the way back to their partners and the people, the professional advice they can get in their mother tongue. It's becoming more and more important.
Thank you, Marian. So can you please approximate the market shares between booking through TO and TA and OTA? Is it yes,
okay.
please, Leila.
I can do that for Thailand. So there is no tangible data for that, but we do have our estimates. And talking with all the market players and comparing to the arrival statistics into Thailand, so we do estimate that in last year, Estonians booked individually about 80% of the travel to Thailand and 20% were the agencies, while in Latvia, Lithuania, the share of individual booking, self-booking was approximately 50-60%. But this is a very, very rough estimate. But I do agree that after COVID, the importance of the travel agents and tour operators will increase because they are the ones who are selecting the safe travel measures and safe hotels who apply safety regulations. And this individual booking into small apartments or hotels, this is not so safe any longer.
Okay, thank you. So we'll see the trend of the using TO and TA more after the COVID-19 because clients will have to need someone to talk to when there's problem and good cancellation or help measurements after anything bad happens. So the trend is for booking through tour operators and travel agency are coming up. Yes. And let's jump to the next question, please. Do you think that Thailand can become more popular on health and wellness in post-COVID, after COVID-19? Is it popular right now? Maybe Layla, can you help this?
Yeah, so this is popular, but people usually they don't travel for health and wellness only. They travel for the holiday, they travel for warm weather, sunshine and beach, and then they add some activities of the preference to the holiday trip. So health and wellness can be one pillar in that, or activities, or things like sightseeing or even cooking. They added to that. So health and wellness has not been the prime objective at the moment. In the future, let's see. The main thing is that it's safe to travel and there is no health risks. But we will continue to push health and wellness as a separate target for sure.
Thank you, Layla. So what some markets have been trying really hard to push this segment in Thailand, because we have a lot of medical facilities and also wellness resorts and spas, So if, the Baltic citizens can, look at Thailand as a health and wellness destination in the future, it would be another opportunity for Thailand. Yes. Yeah. All right. So I think we have only one more question. 2 more questions left. Okay. Do you think that Thailand can be promoted during summer compared to other destinations? So instead of coming in winter, like the travel seasonality that Layla was mentioned, you think what about the summer? Oksana, we serve a tour operator.
Yes, well, I believe Thailand as a destination can be promoted during winter and during summer as well as a destination. But from, let's say, tour operator's perspective and from the specifics of Baltic countries, basically and normally during summer season, we have really so plenty of the destinations closer to us. So really for the long haul destinations, let's say it's a huge competition as well, and taking into consideration really far flight, too many hours. So for organized trips, long haul might be offered for sure, and I really hope that in the nearest future we'll be able to offer long haul destinations, and including Thailand for summer destinations as a choice. Just we have to understand that all those furthest destinations which are located further, they are really attractive for Baltic people to travel there during winter. But again, summer, I would not say that in the future we will not try to promote and try to offer for our travelers to let's say to enjoy Thailand during summer.
Thank you, Oksana. So yes, Thailand can be promoted during summer, and there's a potential there. Can you name me some destinations, long-haul destinations that most Baltic tourists go during summer season?
Actually, from the tour operator side, this summer season 2020 was actually the first season when we tried to introduce 2 long-haul destinations, and it was Bali, Indonesia, yes, and also Seychelles. But unfortunately, this happens what happens, and all those trips had to start from May already, from May during the entire summer season. But unfortunately, with this situation, we had to stop, we had to cancel. So we don't have experience as a tour operator how would be the season this summer. But I believe that next summer we'll be able to introduce same destinations or maybe even more, including Thailand destinations maybe.
Thank you, Oksana, for giving our hope up. And we have one more question left. Can we move on to the next one? So what is the type of accommodation Nova Tours clients prefer? Is it private resort or more like City Hotel. So Oksana again.
Yes. Actually, we as tour operator, first of all, we try to satisfy each type of the client's needs and demand. So we try to select big variety and big choice of various products, hotels, starting from the lowest category, but of course, till the maximum, till the highest category, covering all the resorts, covering all the areas where we have flights operating. So in our case, to Bangkok and Phuket. Yes. Actually, we have to offer flexibility for our clients. So we try to cover all the segments. But again, I want to emphasize that we pay huge and big attention to the quality of the products. And if it is really basic and let's say quite low category, official category establishment, still we try to select the most suitable ones for our customers, because Baltic people, Baltic customers, they are really demanded ones. They pay attention to the details, and we as tour operator try to satisfy all those needs of our clients.
Thank you, Oksana. So quality products are main. What are the main factors for the Baltic tourists to choose to select from? And Leila and Marian, you have anything to add on since we're on the last question? Could be anything, you want to cover?
Not really. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you. And let us cross our fingers that normal and exciting traveling can be restarted. So for sure, it will happen one day.
Yes.
Thank you. So thank you for your time and for sharing such valuable insights and updates. And I and the TAT team really appreciate you being here with us. And thank you, our audience and partners out there, for joining us today and being a part of the webinar. Let's hope that our industry will bounce back as quickly as possible. With your help, I'm confident we can do this together. And the next session and the one for the European market, the last one, will happen tomorrow at 3 p.m. Bangkok time. We will feature the German market, our big market in Europe, and its title is Increasing Sales Through Sustainable Concepts in German Markets. You can reserve your seat now and register by clicking on the blue TAT logo on the top left of your screen now, or visit the TAT webinar site, tourismthailand.org/webinar. Last but not least, your feedback means a lot to us. So please leave your feedback and suggestions by filling in the short questionnaire. Its icon is located next to the Q&A. All TAT webinar sessions are recorded and are available on the TAT webinar homepage. In the past event section, you can use the same access code and you used to join this webinar today to watch the replay. Again, thank you for joining us today and have a happy and productive Monday. สวัสดีค่ะ